Well, we have our next guest in studio, Mr. Don Stoecklein from Pacific Imperial Railroad. Welcome, Don.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you very much.
Great. So tell us a little bit about what you do with Pacific Imperial Railroad.
Well, I'm currently the Chief Executive Officer for Pacific Imperial, otherwise we know as PIR.
That will be a lot easier for us.
I know.
That sounds like a group, though, like a rock group, PIR.
Only Andrea would think of that. So, well, tell us more. What do you do with PIR, and what's the general function?
Well, we were formed in October of 2011 for the sole purpose of rehabilitating an old railroad line here in San Diego, which essentially ran from San Ysidro area down through Mexico, back up through Tecate and over to El Centro. And that railroad was built by none other than John D. Spreckles back in 1915.
Really? Wow,
Yes.
Who knew? Okay. So this is an existing railroad.
It is an existing railroad that's been used throughout the years by different operators, and we recently obtained a 99-year lease to rehab the line and bring it back into full operations by moving freight from the maquiladoras in Mexico, both to and from the maquiladoras in Mexico, to the east and from the east.
Has it always been operational? Is there continuously?
No, it has not. It's been shut down periodically due to the repairs that were required, and until you had NAFTA treaty in 1994-95, there wasn't really a basis to move enough product to consider maintaining a line such as this. But now with NAFTA and 658 maquiladoras wanting to move product, companies such as Toyota, who builds 254 trucks a day, want to move product on a line like this to the east.
So you get to work with all the maquiladoras down in Mexico and bring all their product up here.
We do, and we're right in the middle of negotiating with Baja Rail to create a binational railroad.
A binational railroad?
Yes.
Interesting.
Now, to those who might not know what a maquiladora is, can you tell everybody what that means?
It is a manufacturing facility that is just south of the border where product goes in, it's assembled, and product comes out. And 40% of that product coming out of the maquiladoras was built in the United States. So it's a great way for product to be moved by rail because of the expense of the logistics of moving product by truck, which is, as we all know, 6,000 trucks a day crossing that border, what that does to the emissions and also the fuel consumption, et cetera. So the railroad is 4 times as efficient.
And my wait time for when I've gone down there for some fun in Rosarita. And then I'm coming back.
Exactly.
You're going to spare me some wait time there. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got some national listeners to our show who might not necessarily understand that as a border town, we've got many manufacturers here in San Diego and, national companies as well, local and national companies that have operations here and south of the border.
Right. And I think that's one thing that wasn't made completely clear. A maquiladora may be a manufacturer down in Mexico, but they're really a U.S.-owned company, or am I wrong?
Well, there are companies owned all over the world. I mean, we've dealt with 40 big ones down there that you would know. You're wearing a set of headsets probably from Bose. So they're manufactured down there. Plantronics is down there. Apple makes all their products, or a lot of products, in Mexico. Toyota's down there. Samsung builds TVs down there.
Xerox.
So there's thousands and thousands of containers a day that move out of the maquiladoras that have to be moved on trucks or train or by transport by sea.
Now, what got you excited about getting involved in this? Because this hasn't been your primary profession.
No, it has not been. I've been an attorney for 39 years and got involved with clients of mine out of Nevada, and they asked for assistance in obtaining financing to rehab the railroad, which they had an interest in, and we've taken it from that level to where we are now, and it's become somewhat of a passion to generate 28,000 jobs to the region.
Wow. Did you say 28,000 jobs?
Well, the Sandag has come out with studies that say you have an inefficiency at the border based on trucking, and it costs 28,000 jobs a year. They've also said you lose $1.23 billion in gross revenues because of the inefficiency at the border. We can help facilitate gaining some of the jobs and some of that revenue back.
Interesting. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at am1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com or find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay. We have Urban Miaris with us, and we have Mr. Don Stoecklein from the Pacific Imperial Railroad. So tell us, what do you want our listeners to know more about the railroad? What you need? What is your purpose in trying to do more work with the railroad?
Well, I think it's important for people to understand what the benefits are to the community, such as I just stated.
28,000 jobs, I think that's a big one.
It is a very big opportunity for not just San Diego, but the Baja region of Mexico. And we are in continuous discussions with them to form a binational railroad that will help those jobs and help facilitate a revenue base for San Diego. So what we're trying to do is right now we're in the middle of rehabbing that line, and we've gone through a lot of hurdles to get where we are. Presidential permits, approval from Surface Transportation Board in Washington. We have all of that in place at this point. We're fixing 57 bridges.
Wow.
We are handling 17 tunnels that need work, and that's our purpose right now, to become operational.
So it's not a matter of just watching the train go down the track. It's a matter of taking into consideration this is helping put engineering jobs out there and construction jobs out there and transportation jobs out there. And, I was amazed. We've had plenty of guests on, good old Michelle from M Boutique. Whenever she wanted to go up to L.A., she would take a train up there and then take the Uber out there. And I just never thought about that before. I was always busy on riding the freeway. Now you have trains with moving goods. I think it almost seems like things have come full circle.
Well, at least for us, we understand the logistics cluster that is in the Maquiadora region.
Right.
And that's a very, very big deal to have such an opportunity for this region for the job growth.
Well, if you're putting 28,000 jobs on the market, it's huge.
And not just that, but, maybe I'm being a bit of a Pollyanna, but I would like to think that maybe if with ease of transportation, that it might translate to maybe lower cost ultimately, because everything factors into the cost of goods and services, and transportation is a huge expense.
Absolutely. Transportation is for containers on our freeways, plus the cost of the maintenance of our own freeways by running everything by truck right now. You don't have those costs on the rail.
Yeah, it's got to be infinitely less expensive to put it on the rail than it is in a truck and trying to go across the border. That's crazy.
Yes, we noticed 3 to 6 hour waits for these truckers. We are in direct contact with Customs and Border Patrol, and they're ready to open a gate 24/7 for the rail to come through and move product.
So, what's your time frame?
We're looking really if we can finish the rehab on the bridges by year end, which we intend to do, at least get our test trains run by year end, and then become limited operational by year end, and also have an agreement with Baja Rail, so we form that binational railroad.
That's fabulous.
Do you have anything other than products that you transport on the rails?
Well, the product being 53 and 40-foot containers, and the product being car carriers that will move trucks that are built by Toyota, because they use Union Pacific, and the biggest thing we have going for us, our line connects with Union Pacific. So once you connect with Union Pacific, you go across the country. And that's what Toyota needs right now, is to limit all that product being shipped by truck.
Right. Well, we're starting to run short on time here. Tell our listeners how they learn more about the railroad.
Well, we are in the process of updating our website. So as we finish that, look for Pacific Imperial Railroad, and you'll be able to find that website once that's completed.
Great. Any final notes you want to leave with our listeners?
I don't think so. We're excited about what we're doing, and we've gone through a lot of hurdles to get here. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, hopefully you'll be back to give us updates on your progress.
Love to do it.
Great.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. Great. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at am1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD or just find us on Facebook. And you can always email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.